are enough. How many of us had that feeling growing up? In a world that constantly tells us we need to be more successful, more productive, more accomplished, it can be easy to fall into the trap of feeling like we're never quite enough. And that mindset is also known as imposter syndrome, and it plagues people of all backgrounds and achievements. No matter how successful we are, we can question our worth and abilities. But the truth is, you are enough. Right here, right now, exactly as you are. You don't have to strive for some state of perfection or for some grandiose goal to be worthy of respect, love, belonging, opportunities, or anything you want to pursue. Your inherent value as a human being has nothing to do with your resume, your bank account, or societal status, or anything that you've achieved. Many of our beliefs were formed in the early stages of our lives, between 0 and 7. And through those early experiences and the labels that we gave those experiences and the understandings we took away, we developed a series of beliefs that have been used to unconsciously create our lives up to this point. It's pretty evident that the majority of the population has a deep core underlying belief that they're not good enough, they're not worthy, and that they inherently don't love and accept themselves. And that leads to us not fully seeing our worth, and it can lead to general feelings of stress and unhappiness in life. And the truth is, you are good enough. You are worthy and lovable, and you don't need anyone else to tell you that. It's time to let go of the old programming and replace it with a new set point of self-love and acceptance. And it's worth remembering that as human beings, we make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We learn as we go. And if we made a mistake or got the wrong answer, it doesn't mean that we're not worthy of acceptance and love. But many times as a child, the process of growing and learning was messaged and communicated to us as us being wrong. Not that the thing we did was wrong, but that we were wrong. That can be confused with loving, worthiness, and feeling deserving. So it's okay to make mistakes, to fall down, as long as we learn to get back up again, and not to use making mistakes or getting something wrong as an excuse to not love ourselves, because you deserve to be loved. You're worthy of the best that life has to offer. And most of all, the best that you have to offer. You deserve to love yourself. The process of letting go of imposter syndrome and really internalizing self-acceptance and self-love can be challenging, and it's worth every step though. When you understand the root of where unworthy thoughts or feelings may have started, it can be incredibly helpful. Take time to reflect on your childhood and look at your teenage years or any experience that you had that left you feeling unworthy, not good enough, or undeserving in any kind of a way. Whatever the situation or the experience or the words that may have been said to you or that you walked through had more to do with the person or the people who said them than they had to do with you. I'll say that again. Whatever the situation, experience, or the words that were said, if they were not uplifting to you as a young person, they had more to do with the person or people saying them than they had to do with you. And that can be true in adulthood as well. Unfortunately, words and actions, once they're said or the action is done, can never be retracted. It can be acknowledged as having been hurtful or inappropriate or wrong, but it can never be unsaid or rewound. But as long as you can put them in perspective and accept and embrace the fact that you are perfect, complete, and whole, just the way you are, you can overcome any false beliefs. So I've put together 10 things that you can do to help unravel the imposter syndrome. First one is challenge perfectionist thinking. Imposter syndrome is often fueled because we have this belief that we need to be perfect, or to be fully accepted and successful, we need to be close to perfection. Reality is no one's perfect. We all make mistakes, and I call them lessons that we're learning, life lessons. We all have a set of goals that we are striving for, that we set and reset, and we have things that we're working on. And accepting our imperfections as a natural part of being human That can go a long way in helping dismantle feelings of imposter syndrome. The second thing is to reframe our inner critic. We all have one. We do have an inner critic, that we have an inner voice that we're constantly having a conversation with. And the question is, are we talking in uplifting phrases or are we talking in a critical tone? That little voice in our head is constantly pointing out what we believe our shortcomings and doubting our abilities to be. That's our inner critic, the key driver of imposter syndrome. So if you catch yourself with critical thinking or you're having negative self-talk, reframe it into more compassionate and accepting words. Would we talk to a friend the way we talk to ourselves? And offer the same kindness and understanding to yourself as you would someone else that you deeply care about. Third thing is stop judging yourself. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Accepting all parts of yourself exactly as you are, where you are, is so liberating. We're not meant to be anywhere other than where we are right now, looking at the next step that we're about to take. The fourth thing is don't compare yourself to others. There's a saying that comparison is the death of contentment, or comparison is the death of joy. There's no point in comparing ourselves to others. If we compare ourselves to the best version yesterday of ourselves, that's the best comparison that we can make, because we're constantly striving to be a better version of ourselves every day. The fifth thing is to celebrate your successes, big and small. So it's easy to downplay or discount a success along the way, or accomplishments, even major achievements, if we're battling imposter syndrome. So make sure you're acknowledging yourself for the smallest things that we do, because life has enough challenges. Accepting and loving ourselves because of the small and the big wins is important. So keep a running list of things you've done well, or things that you've accomplished that you were setting out to do, and then refer to that when you're feeling any kind of self-doubt along the way. Seek out friends, family members, or close associates who can provide genuine encouragement and are supportive of you. And they can also be a reminder of your strengths when you get a compliment you didn't expect. And limit your time with people, or even eliminate those from your inner circle who make statements that make you feel inferior or undermine your confidence. The seventh thing is practice self-compassion. When imposter thoughts and feelings arise, look what triggered those emotions. Look at that. Because if you extend the same kindness and understanding to yourself that you would to a loved one in a similar situation, you can shift that thinking and that feeling to a more feeling of self-compassion, and talk to yourself with gentleness, empathy, and care. Remind yourself that you're human and your worth is not defined by your performance, your achievements, or any external factors. The eighth thing you can do is seek out positive role models and supportive mentors. Seeing others who overcome self-doubt or unbelievable odds can be a really great reminder that you're not alone in your struggles. All of us are striving to overcome self-doubt and to feel confident within ourselves. So seek out people who have been successful in your areas of interest, or look at others who have carried themselves with confidence and self-assuredness, even though they may be under some other stress that would naturally have them appear otherwise. Other people's stories can provide inspiration and ideas and strategies that we can use for ourselves to quiet our own inner critic. The ninth thing is to redefine success on your own terms. A lot of times, imposter syndrome will pop up because of external definitions of success that don't align with where we're at in life, or don't align with our own values and our priorities. So define success on your own terms. You're not living anyone else's life but your own. And the 10th thing is, we're not here to impress anyone. Being a good human being, doing what we can to contribute to good in the world, and showing up as the best version of ourselves every day, or as often as possible, is enough. And take the time to reflect on what truly matters to you. It'll help you break free from the constant striving and comparison that feeds the feelings of unworthiness or imposter feelings. Proactively working to align your goals and how you're measuring your achievements or how you're showing up in the world can be very empowering. and it can help you break free from constant striving and comparison that often feeds feelings of unworthiness or the imposter syndrome type feelings. So ultimately, overcoming imposter syndrome, it's about reconnecting with your inherent worth and the capabilities and strengths and all the good things about yourself that you've had all along. It's also about seeing yourself through the lens of self-acceptance, and rather than a distorted view of self-doubt, and understanding that you are enough exactly as you are, no more and no less. This journey of life isn't easy for any of us, and there'll be setbacks along the way. But if we have self-compassion for ourselves and use courage and have a willingness to challenge the limiting beliefs that hold us back, we can overcome imposter syndrome and replace any self-limiting beliefs with a healthy appreciation for how far we've all come. Step into the fullness of your personal power. You are worthy, you are capable, and you are enough.